All right. Hello, guys. This is Samuel. Let's talk about Lia Thompson. Lia Thompson is the individual who, while as a professed male, swam for the University of Pennsylvania. And in that role, Lia Thompson was ranked somewhere in the 400, like something like 480. And then she declared herself a woman and began, I guess you call transitioning, and started swimming on the women's team, University of Pennsylvania's women's team, and actually bested the women on that team at a school, and then eventually competed in the nationals and won. Now, this is he wasn't even fully transitioned. Okay, meaning Lia Thompson hasn't yet gone under the knife, if you know what I mean by that. Basically, is in the process of taking drugs, testosterone reducing drugs, and he was allowed to compete. Pardon me. Allowed to compete and actually won the national championships. So there's been a lot of outcry about that. In fact, in Florida, the governor DeSantis had some sort of state proclamation declared that announced that they believe that the second in place was in fact the true winner. And I don't need to talk about where we should stand on that or where you should. That's your business. But let's talk about what one professor, a professor of gender studies, her name is Professor Kuki. What she wrote. She wrote a op-ed article in the NBC News in which she compared Lia Thompson to Jackie Robinson. Okay. And that basically we should be supporting Lia Thompson the same way we should have been supporting Jackie Robinson. So she's received a lot of backlash. In fact, there have been calls for her to be fired. Okay. And how are you going to compare this white person or this person who hasn't even transitioned to Jackie Robinson? All right. Well, this is why she did it. She does it because we allow her to get away with it. We allow this type of cultural vampirism. Okay. We allow people to kind of drain us for whatever project they have. You see, when there's any type of new social project, any so-called social innovation, if you want to call it innovation, people just nationally assume at this point that, okay, we have at least 45 million of those blacks that's going to support us, or we're going to make them support us, because what we're going to do, we're going to guilt them into supporting us. We're going to say, okay, you got to support this thing because, hey, we supported you all during the time of MLK. We're still supporting you with Black Lives Matter. So, hey, you got to support this. And we have to be willing to tell them no. And this is even at the personal level. We have to be able to tell them no, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of us who are flattered by this cultural theft. Yes, a lot of us are flattered by that. Okay. Instead of saying, you know what, why don't you go build your own house? Okay. You don't have to tie everything up to our struggle. You don't have to kind of have to adopt our struggle for whatever little social project or innovation that you're involved in. Go build your own history of struggle. Go build your own house. Okay, stop stealing from our house. But a lot of us, because of our inferior mentality, you know, our sense of inferiority, we in fact feel flattered by this theft. Okay, so someone breaks into our house and steals our flat screen, and then instead of being upset or angry, we're happy. Wow, someone stole our TV. Wow, they must really think our house is nice. No, they don't. What people do now, okay, whatever mission that they're on, whatever project they're on, they just naturally assume, okay, we can convince those guys to go with us. So we at least have them. Okay. We don't really even have to do too much convincing. We just guilt them and just mention, okay, MLK, people discriminated against you, so don't discriminate against other people. So we're not allowed to even have any sort of to perform any sort of critical examination of what this new thing is, of what this project is. Okay. Because we're just assumed, okay, we got to go along with it because, oh, if we don't go along, then we're discriminating or we're showing bias, and we're still fighting discrimination and bias, so we must accept everything because that means we are supporting discrimination and bias. The argument is, of course, false. We have the right to examine whatever new thing that enters this world. Okay. And at the end of the day, if we don't do this, we're going to continue to decline. All right. We should not consider ourselves just this kind of ready made ally for everything under the sun. If we do this, we will continue to decline. All right. So again, I don't need to discuss where anyone stands regarding Lia Thompson, but we can at least pinpoint that fallacy that a lot of us have, that it's a good thing when people tie their struggles or whatever they're going through to our struggles and what we're going through, because at the end of the day, Lia Thompson is white. There's no comparison to the struggles of Jackie Robinson. At the end of the day, he's white, she's white, depending on your point of view. Okay. And that person's life is completely different than the life that we're living, than the life that the 1.2, 1.1 billion black people on this planet is going through. And for us to create a world that is comfortable, safe for our children, we must critically examine whatever innovation, if you want to call it an innovation, whatever new thing that is entering the community, that is entering society, and we have the right to decide whether or not we consider that thing good or evil, beneficial or harmful. That's all I have to say for today. Thank you for listening.